Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today I'm reviewing the Transformers Combined Wars Deluxe class Streetwise to protect the bots who form the Defensor, if you didn't know. Which, if you're watching this video, you probably do know that. So the Streetwise here is actually a heavy remold of the Dead End mold from Minosaur. And there is quite a few differences. Unfortunately, I don't have one of them with me to compare it to, but I do know off the bat the hood is, on the original, the hood was a lot more smooth, didn't have this venting in it. The windshield went out a bit farther and was a bit wider, I believe. And there was a lot of other remolds, but there were so many it's really hard to kind of go over. But this is like a lot more angular, this is a lot more like, got sharp angles and sharp little details, and there's a lot of different stuff here. But yeah, there is a huge difference. Also, the original mold didn't have this on top, and it also had kind of smooth going back instead of this kind of ridges and vents coming up. So it is very nice. They did a lot of remolding, even though it's technically the same mold. And this mold, of course, got its own remold as Prowl here, who is exactly the same as in car mode, basically, just different paint and different head in robot mode. And you can see the overall details are pretty much the same here, except just where the paint goes. But it is nice that they changed it up enough with like where paint apps land to really differentiate between these two. And for another comparison, here he is next to Groove. So he's your typical Deluxe class size. He does have some accessories. He has this, I guess, a 3-barreled shotgun with a scope. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. Really odd little weapon, but you can peg it onto the side, which is a little low, so you'd be scraping the ground. You can also peg it to the top of the vehicle, which makes a bit more sense. Still looks a little odd though. You can also peg it to the back if you wish, which I guess could be storage. Typically I tend to store it just by pegging on the side and having it pointed backwards. Maybe it could be extra exhaust, I don't know. I tend not to use this weapon. The car molds in particular seem to have a lot of trouble storing their weapons just because there's not a lot of places to put them and they look a little awkward. Then he also has this weapon, which I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it's clearly got little shooting things at the end there. And it does have details on the inside, so I'm not sure exactly what you would call this weapon. It kind of looks like some kind of laser weapon to me. But you can also peg that to the top. Well, it does not hang... Oh, yeah, it does not hang on well. Like, when you move it around, it's fine, but then when you try to pick up, it just doesn't even try. You can peg onto the back, but then it's also kind of doing that thing. Yeah, car's gonna be off its back wheels, basically. So the only place you could possibly peg this is to the top. Which, again, I guess you could use for extra exhaust pipes, but I think it looks a little ridiculous, so I don't bother pegging the weapons on its vehicle mode. But I do like all the details. The paint is nice blue here with police kind of inscribed in there, or not inscribed, I guess, since that's actually the plastic. You might have also noticed Streetwise here is a little bit of an off beige white. Because Prowl here is like a bright, pure white, while Streetwise, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it's a lot easier to see in person. He has a slight yellow to him. So he's a slightly white beige. He's white with a slight hint of beige to it. It's really weird. But I guess it also kind of helps differentiate him from Prowl. He does have the siren on top and it's painted nicely, except that from the sides you can see little bits missing from where the pieces don't quite fit together as they should. You do get the blue up here with the police inscribed in again. You do get silver headlights. The grills down here are not painted, but the front bumper part with the lights is painted in gunmetal gray, which is pretty nice. You even do get the back window painted in black, which is pretty neat. You can also even see a detail for a gas cap there, which is nice. I like those little details. I wish the wheels were painted, but nope. Ever since Combined Wars, we've basically just been getting these black wheels. Actually, it might have been since Dueling 30, it's hard to say. And then the rear, nothing on the rear, no paint here, but there is a lot of nice details for the rear lights and bumper, and you can also see where the transformation doesn't quite fit together because there's little bits in there where you can see it there. Usual stuff with Combined Wars, just little stuff that skips through. There's also a line going through the P on police. So, let's get to... We're going to transform him to his leg mode first. To get the leg mode, you're going to flip down the easiest way I found to do this is to push your thumb into here to kind of pull the windshield up and flip it back. You can see that cracks open the siren. Then you're going to come back here, and you're going to grab all of this, because this part here is on a separate hinge if you so wish, but for the leg mode, you're supposed to grab all this, and on this big red hinge down here, gonna pull it down. It's a really hard click too, and it's just gonna sit there. And you're gonna pull out the connector bit, and then you can peg in the weird looking black weapon for a foot. And there you have him in his foot mode, which, it's okay. It's a foot, it's pretty wide, it's pretty solid looking. It's a nice foot mode. It's what you kind of expect from a foot mode from a car. His next one is his arm mode, but you do kind of need to pull this off because you have to move this little tailpipe piece here. And to do that, you're going to go ahead and take this connector bit. This you can keep down as usual. You're going to take the back here and flip it open. These actually form the feet later on. Then you're actually going to use that to flip this out. You're basically using the robot's knees to form an elbow. Flip this all the way around, and make sure you actually bring these red bits up, because these are actually required for clicking it together. Because there's two hinges here. There's one here for the knee, and then there's one here for the transformation. So make sure it's all lined up like that. Basically, want to make sure these knee guards are up. Flip out the tailpipe, because that'll be what attaches the hand to. And then just close these back up. There's a little tab on the inside. There's a tab slot there. Peg it together. And then rotate. I'm going to make this a right arm. Rotate it. And then you're going to take the hand, and it's the usual transformation for all the hands. Flip out the fingers. Bring it in. Close the thumb over it. And peg it on. And there you have Prowl in his arm mode, which is a good arm mode. It's pretty solid looking. I will admit I do find it a little strange that the forearm's wider than the shoulder. Especially if you kind of flip this up, you get a really skinny shoulder compared to a really thick forearm. You can also flip this up to form like a shoulder blade. But other than that, other than like aesthetic look, it's perfectly fine. It works well as an arm. You get two elbows on it. So I think he's one of the better arm modes, or at least acceptable arm mode. So let's give him his robot mode. Since he's in arm mode, he's already pretty much halfway there. Go ahead and flip that connector bit back in, swivel it around, split the legs or the front there, and then you're gonna that tailpipe back up, so that way you can actually land his feet down. Go bring the camera up. Yeah, camera, welcome. Home. Gotta adjust the stand. There we go. Then up here you have these ratchet and a ball joint, and you'll use that to bring out the arms, and you'll see the little I don't know what you call them. Little stilts come out up here and stick out just above where the chest actually goes to have the arms a little bit higher. Then you're just gonna have to get these hands out, and these hands they're ratcheted for some reason. I'm not sure why, but this had the plastic ratchet hands. It makes it a really hard deal. I have to get my nail scissors out every time just to get in there because I don't have nails. Even if I had nails, you gotta kind of just get it in there, grab that the hole in the hand, and then just rotate it out. Once you get it out, it's easy to move, but it's just getting it out initially. I guess you're supposed to use these little pits here, but I don't have nails, so I have to kind of just use these nail scissors to work it in there. So there we go. There's his arms. Let's put the nail scissors out of the way. And then you're going to take the windshield, make sure it's laying flat down. This is a bit tricky. You're going to need to get red hand back up here, because that gets it close enough to bring down the insides of what was in the hood, where his head's at. And then the hood, as I mentioned, is on its own separate hinges that fold back onto the windshield to form his backpack. Then to lock down the head, you're going to press it down as flat as you can against it, and flip down the chest plate, and that'll actually tab into some tab holes there. And there finally we have Streetwise in his robot mode. Now let's go get comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to his teammate Groove, who's a legend, so he's much shorter. See, about half the size of Streetwise there. And here's Prowl, who I think with the different color patterns does differentiate these two quite a bit. And granted, you can take one look at them and know they're the same mold, but there's a lot of different paint apps and paints that are the same or in different areas. It helps a lot to make these two look different, especially since the different whites they used. Which is weird. He's also the only one. Streetwise here is the only one of the protective bots that uses kind of beige white. The other are kind of the bright white like Prowl here, so I'm not sure what was with that. But let's get these two out of the way since they are not the figure being reviewed here. So here's Streetwise, and he has a pretty awesome head sculpt, I would say. He's got these shades going down, he's got a nice silver mouth. You can actually make out the mouth in there. It kind of looks like the Power Rangers mouth from the original Season 1. He's got these little antennae that are actually done up in red. He's got the crest coming down, done up in red. So it's all very nicely painted. The overall figure, it does have a decent amount of paint. You do get some red on the forearms. You get some black on the arm, on the end of the legs here, and the chest plate's done up in black. Let me make sure that, yep, chest plate's actually white, so it's actually done up in black. With an Autobot decal put on there. Very nice. Oh, it looks like mine's slightly off center. That's gonna bug me now that I noticed it. My decal's like slightly off center. I do wish there was a bit more paint, maybe some on the legs or on the shins, maybe some on the codpiece there, I'm not sure. Maybe even some along the sides here, kind of like what they did with the helicopter mold. But it's enough that it does break up everything. There's no color that's really overpowering per se. Maybe there's a little too much white here, especially with that kind of meh beige white. I wouldn't mind it quite as much if it was a brighter white, but it looks okay. One weird issue is that his arms, if you have them straight, they look really, really short. Like, really short. Like, here's Prowl, who has his arm actually bent, and it actually goes down further than the arm straight because of how this arm's put together. It's also because how high up the arms are on the with the shoulders. It's the where the shoulders start actually above, slightly above where the chest is. Like, if you actually lower down the arms. It's not that his arms are really short, it's more just how high up they are, because if you actually put his arms where you would expect the arms to start, like lined up with the chest, it's kind of hard to do. It does limit the articulation, but it does have a bit better of an aesthetic look to it. As you can see, it's a bit closer to where you expect his arms to be instead of up here. And like I said, because of this, how his elbow's put together, his arms are actually a little bit longer if you actually bend the elbow. It's a little weird. Not quite sure what they were thinking with that. It's not a deal breaker per se, it's just an odd thing about this mold. He does have his weapons, which are this thing that I'm still not quite sure what it is, but it is a mighty looking blaster. I'm going to call it his taser. And he does have his triple barreled shotgun with a scope. I'm still not sure why you would want to scope on a triple barreled shotgun, because I'm pretty sure those are usually pretty close range, but he does have it. And maybe it's not a shotgun, but it looks like one to me. Even has a little pump down here, so yeah, I'm going to call it a shotgun. Triple barreled still pretty scary though. Very scary. And I do like it's done up a nice metallic gray, the gunmetal gray, to kind of give that realistic look almost. That's another thing. It doesn't have any gunmetal gray in this mode. Granted, it was only on the bumper in the car mode, but it was since it was on the bumper, it was pretty easy to see. In this mode, he's just white, red, and black with a tiny bit of silver and blue on his face, which I wouldn't even count as colors for him, considering it's just on his face. So it's kind of weird. He doesn't have really any color mixing at all. It's all just like a white body with a little bit of red and then a little bit of black mixed in. He really could have used more color. He could have used some of that blue he had. Some of that blue or some of that gunmetal gray, some silver, something. Just something to help break this up. Maybe a little bit of blue on the chest, maybe a little bit on the legs. Maybe blue on his toes. There we go. That would have helped break that up a little bit. Or on the shoulders. None of these guys actually have paints on the shoulders either. All these guys are just like... all these different car modes, their shoulders are just left as is. Oh, there is still even detail here. Even the peg hole that's sticking out has like a detail, almost like a dial or a gear, which is pretty nice. And he does have like little pistons in his arms and such. So it is nice detailing. He also has no feet. He has a foot molded on there, but he doesn't have a foot sticking out. But he has such nice blocky legs, he doesn't really need feet or heels since they're just kind of two big blocks he's standing on. So at least they used the kibble kind of correctly to kind of form actual legs that he can stand with. It's just kind of weird aesthetically because it means his foot actually goes past his leg here, since that wheel is actually here. It looks a little weird. He has some weird aesthetics, but I like him still. So his articulation is good. Let's get his weapons off him. Yeah, come here. Give me your shotgun. I know you like it, but I need it. So he does have a ball joint. I think he technically has a ball joint, but you can't really move it up and down much. You can move it up slightly up and slightly down. But mainly what you can do with his swivel, and it does swivel pretty well. Do get ball joints at the shoulder, and you do have that hinge if you so wish to use it. But the ball joint can't go out, so they did cut it right. You do get a swivel, although it does look a little weird using it because then you have this junk kind of just sticking out, and you have nearly invisible elbows. Yeah, I'm going to call that the invisible elbow because it does have a thing to kind of still try to link it, but it still looks like the arm's just kind of hanging in the air because of how wide it is. But you do have that, and you do technically have a hinge at the hand. And if you find a use for that, you do get a waist swivel, and it does go all the way around to mushroom peg, so works pretty well. Ball jointed hips that go, can't go quite the full 90 degrees, but you can do most of the split. Outward and forward, they have no issues at all, and there's no kibble getting in the way of them, so that's pretty nice. Do get swivels right below those ball joints, as well as hinges for the ankles. So you can get him into some poses, and with his nice wide feet, he can do quite a bit, because even when he's standing on just the edge of his feet, because of how wide they are, they do give him quite a bit of balance. So for as weird as some of his aesthetics are, he does make for a pretty good action figure. Let's give him a shotgun again, because he looks like he's about to use it. Give him a weird kind of... Can't tell if he's doing a dance, or if he's just kind of waving his shotgun around. Or maybe he's getting ready for a jump attack, who knows. But yeah, that's Streetwise. Overall, he's a pretty decent figure. He could use some more paint, and like I mentioned, some of his aesthetics are a little bit weird. And you probably already have this mold array between all the different ones they have. But he is one of the members to protect the bots. It's kind of hard not to have one of the members. And he does look good enough that I think he'll look fine with all the rest. My only biggest complaint, honestly, is that beige white. The beige white is really what bugs me. But if you can get past that and the missing paint, then I think you're going to have a good time with this figure. He's a pretty nice figure, and I think anybody could enjoy him, collectors or collectors or kids. So, this has been Nerdy Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review, and hope you have a good day. Take care.